Rachel tucked Lily beneath the soft pink blanket, gently brushing a loose strand of hair from her daughter's forehead. The room was quiet, bathed in the warm, dappled glow of the nightlight, casting soft patterns on the wall. It was their ritual stories, kisses, whispered good nights. But tonight felt different, heavier. Lily had been unusually quiet. No questions about the princess in the story, no giggles, just silence. Her small hands clutched her worn-out bunny, holding it close like a secret she wasn't ready to share. Rachel leaned down to kiss her daughter's cheek. "Good night, sweetheart," she whispered. Lily held on to her sleeve. "Mummy," her voice was soft, almost trembling. Rachel smiled gently. "Yes, baby." Lily's big brown eyes looked straight into hers, full of something Rachel couldn't name. Worry, maybe fear. "I know where Daddy sleeps at night, and it's not here." Rachel froze, her heart skipping a beat. "What do you mean, honey?" Her voice came out shakier than she intended. Lily fidgeted with the bunny's ear. "Daddy has another bed in another house. I saw it, Mummy. There's a lady there. She makes pancakes for him in the morning." Her words were innocent, but they landed like a heavy stone in Rachel's chest. For a moment, Rachel forgot to breathe. Her mind raced, memories flashing. Marcus saying he had to work late, the perfume that wasn't hers on his shirt, the strange credit card receipt she'd found weeks ago. She had told herself she was overthinking, that marriage had ups and downs, but now her 8-year-old was telling her something she hadn't dared to speak out loud. She forced a smile for Lily's sake. When did you see this, sweetie?" "Last week. Daddy said it was a surprise, but he told me not to tell you." Lily's voice broke on the last word as if she had done something wrong. Rachel's throat tightened. She pulled Lily close, hugging her tightly. "You did nothing wrong, baby. Thank you for telling me. Are you mad at me?" Lily whispered into her shoulder. Rachel shook her head, even though tears threatened to fall. "No, sweetheart. I'm not mad at you at all." When Lily's breathing slowed and she drifted to sleep, Rachel sat there in silence, staring at the nightlight. Her heart pounded so hard it hurt. Questions spun through her head. Who is this woman? How long has this been going on? Why would Marcus hide this from me and from Lily? Her hands trembled as she brushed a tear from her cheek. She looked at her daughter's peaceful face and felt a mix of heartbreak and fury rising inside her. Whatever truth hid behind Lily's innocent words, Rachel knew one thing. Her life, her marriage, would never be the same after tonight. Rachel, a nurse, hardworking and caring, was raised in a humble household where kindness meant more than money. Her parents had taught her to work hard, love deeply, and keep family close no matter how hard life became. Those lessons shaped her into the woman she was today. Devoted to her family, especially her 8-year-old daughter, Rachel met Marcus 10 years ago when he was showing houses as a young, ambitious real estate agent. He was charming, full of confidence, and had a smile that could make anyone feel special. In those early days, he brought Rachel flowers after every long shift at the hospital and left sweet notes on her car windshield. They talked for hours about their dreams and future. When he proposed, it felt like the happiest day of her life. Like all the sacrifices her parents had made to raise her had led to this moment. For the first few years, their marriage was everything Rachel had imagined. Marcus supported her long night shifts, and she admired his drive to succeed in real estate. They laughed easily, took small weekend trips, and welcomed Lily into their lives with excitement and joy. Rachel loved motherhood, reading bedtime stories, cooking Lily's favorite spaghetti, and holding her during thunderstorms. But somewhere along the way, things started to change. Marcus began working late more often. At first, Rachel believed him real estate was demanding, and long hours were normal. But soon, working late became his favorite excuse, and weekends often found him glued to his phone or mysteriously running errands. When Rachel asked about it, he would sigh and say, "You worry too much, Rachel. I'm doing this for us." She tried to believe him because marriage meant trust, and she wanted Lily to grow up in a happy home. Yet the distance grew. Marcus rarely joined them for dinner, often eating after everyone had gone to bed. He missed school events, claiming last-minute clients. Rachel began feeling like a single parent in a marriage that still had his last name, but none of his presence. Lily noticed too. Children always do. She sometimes asked, "Why isn't Daddy home?" Rachel would smile and say, "He's working, sweetie. Daddy works hard for us." But even as she said it, something inside her felt hollow. Lily overheard arguments, sometimes muffled voices behind closed doors, when Rachel finally confronted Marcus about being absent. Those nights always ended with Marcus dismissing her concerns, saying she was too emotional or that she didn't understand the pressure he was under. Rachel's heart started to ache with a loneliness she didn't want to admit. She tried to fix things, planned family outings, cooked his favorite meals, left little notes like he used to. But Marcus barely noticed. It felt like hugging someone who was no longer really there. Then came the small hints, like tiny cracks in a glass she tried so hard not to see. A strange perfume scent on Marcus's shirt when he hugged her, one that wasn't hers. Credit card receipts for fancy dinners and hotel stays that he brushed off as client meetings. An unfamiliar woman's earring she found under the passenger seat of his car. He claimed it must have been from a client, but his eyes darted away when he said it. Rachel wanted to believe him because the thought of losing him felt like tearing her family apart. She told herself he was just stressed, that marriage goes through phases. She loved him and wanted Lily to have both parents under one roof, even if things weren't perfect. But in quiet moments, when Lily was asleep and the house was silent, Rachel felt the truth pressing against her chest. Something was wrong, something she couldn't name yet, but it was there, hanging between every forced smile and every late-night excuse. She chose to push it aside, focusing instead on being the best mother she could. She woke early, packed Lily's lunch, worked long hospital shifts, and came home to tuck her into bed each night. Rachel kept telling herself things would get better, that maybe Marcus just needed time. But deep down, she knew she just didn't have the proof or the courage to face it yet. Lily innocently tells Rachel that she saw Daddy's other home. She sits on the bed, hugging her stuffed bunny, and whispers, "It's big, Mommy. There's another bed there, and a nice lady who makes pancakes. Daddy said it's our secret." Rachel feels her whole body freeze. "Another home," she repeats, trying to keep her voice calm. "When did you see this place, baby?" Lily thinks for a moment. "Last week. Daddy took me there when you were working. He said it's special. The lady's name is Vanessa. I think she's really nice." Rachel's heart pounds in her ear. For a moment, she wonders if Lily misunderstood something, but deep down, she knows her daughter is telling the truth. Children don't lie about things like this, not with such detail. A cold, heavy feeling fills Rachel's chest, and her hands start to tremble. "Sweetheart, you did nothing wrong telling me this," Rachel says softly, kissing her daughter's forehead. "This is not your fault. Daddy loves you very much." Lily looks worried. "Are you mad at Daddy?" Rachel forces a smile, even as her heart feels like it's breaking. "No, baby, don't worry about it. Okay? Mommy just needs to think about something." When Lily finally falls asleep, Rachel sits on the edge of the bed, staring at nothing. Her thoughts swirl. Marcus has another place, another woman. Why would he take their daughter there? Why lie about it? She remembers the perfume, the receipts, the late-night excuses, all the things she had tried to ignore. They weren't random pieces anymore. They were forming a picture she didn't want to see. The next morning, Rachel watches Marcus carefully as he gets ready for work. "Marcus," she says casually, "where were you last week with Lily?" He looks up, blinking. "What do you mean?" "She said you went to another house." Marcus laughs too quickly. "A house? Oh, honey, she must be confused. I took her to see a new property I'm selling." "You know kids, they imagine things." Rachel studies his face. He's smiling, but his eyes look sharper, almost warning her to drop it. "Did she meet someone named Vanessa?" she asks quietly. For a split second, his expression changes. tightens before he laughs again. The nest, probably another agent in the building. Rachel, you're overthinking again. I told you I'm busy. I don't have time for whatever this is. The conversation ends with him brushing past her, kissing her cheek lightly, like nothing happened. But Rachel's gut twists tighter. Something is wrong. That night, she lies awake next to him, staring at the ceiling. He sleeps peacefully, his phone on the nightstand, turned face down. She wants to pick it up to look for proof, but stops herself. She doesn't want to be that wife. But then she remembers Lily's little voice. Daddy has another bed, a nice lady who makes pancakes. The next day, Rachel decides she can't ignore it anymore. She starts paying attention. When Marcus leaves, what clothes he takes with him, how often he comes home late. She checks his car when he's in the shower, finding a coffee receipt from an expensive cafe miles away from his usual route. When she gently asks again about his schedule, he sighs and says, Rachel, stop acting paranoid. You're imagining things. I'm working hard for this family. Don't turn me into the bad guy because you're insecure. His words sting, and Rachel feels small and foolish. But deep inside, she knows she's not imagining it. She has worked too hard, loved too deeply, to let this go without answer. That night, as she tucks Lily in again, Rachel promises herself quietly, I need to know the truth. For me, for Lily, even if it hurts. This moment changes something inside her. The marriage she thought she had now feels like a fragile shell, hiding something ugly. She no longer sees Marcus as just her husband. She sees him as someone who might be living a double life. And that thought fills her with both fear and a strange, growing strength. Rachel secretly follows Marcus. One evening, her hands tight on the steering wheel as she keeps a safe distance from his car. Her heart beats fast, almost painfully, and every streetlight feels like it's exposing her. She tells herself she might be wrong, that maybe he really is working late, but something deep inside whispers she already knows the truth. Marcus turns into an upscale apartment complex, one she has never seen before. It has tall glass windows, a gated entrance, and expensive cars parked out front. Rachel parks a little distance away, staying low as she watches him step out of his car. Her breath catches when she sees a young woman run toward him, smiling brightly. She looks about 29, stylish and full of energy. Marcus wraps his arms around her easily, like he's done it 1,000 times. Then they hold hands and walk inside, laughing together like a couple in love. Rachel feels her stomach twist. It's not just an affair, it's a life. Another life he is living. She sits there frozen, hands shaking on the steering wheel, tears blurring her vision. Part of her wants to scream, to run up and demand answers, but she doesn't. She can't. Not yet. When she finally drives home, her face is pale, her chest tight. She forces herself to calm down before walking into the house, because Lily is there waiting for her bedtime hug. Mommy, you okay? Lily asks, her small eyes watching carefully. Rachel forces a smile and hugs her. I'm fine, sweetheart. Go brush your teeth. Okay, but she's not fine. Inside, she feels broken, betrayed, and lost. The next morning, Rachel calls her friend Sarah, a lawyer she's known since nursing school. They meet at a coffee shop, and Rachel explains everything. Lily's story, the apartment, the other woman. Sarah listens quietly, her face serious. You need to protect yourself, Rachel, Sarah says gently. Get copies of financial statements, bank accounts, property records. If this gets ugly, you don't want to be left vulnerable. Rachel nods slowly, and Lily, Sarah sighs. You need to think about custody too. From what you're telling me, Marcus has been living a separate life. That could help if things go to court. Hearing the word court makes Rachel's stomach sink, but she knows Sarah is right. Marcus notices the change in her. He senses she's suspicious, and his behavior shifts. He becomes more hostile, snapping over small things. Why are you looking at me like that? He says one evening, when she simply glances his way. I'm just looking at you, Marcus, she replies softly, trying not to start another fight. He steps closer, his tone sharp. You've been acting weird lately. Are you spying on me? Because if you are, you need to stop. I'm working hard, Rachel, for you, for Lily. But you're making everything toxic. Rachel swallows her anger, choosing silence. Every argument now turns into him, blaming her, twisting her words, making her feel like she's imagining everything. But she's not imagining it. She knows what she saw. Rachel starts documenting things quietly. She takes pictures of receipts she finds in his car, copies of his work schedule when it doesn't match his actual movements, and saves screenshots of text messages when he accidentally leaves his phone unlocked. She doesn't want to fight him yet, not until she has everything ready. Meanwhile, Lily becomes quieter. She notices the tension, the cold silences at dinner, the way her parents avoid each other's eyes. One night, Rachel finds Lily sitting alone in her room, staring at her stuffed bunny. "What's wrong, baby?" Rachel asks, gently. Lily shrugs. "You and Daddy don't laugh anymore. Did I do something bad?" Rachel's heart breaks. She kneels and hugs her tightly. "No, sweetheart. You didn't do anything wrong. Mommy and Daddy just have grown-up problems. But we both love you so much." Lily nods, but doesn't look convinced. Things take a shocking turn. One afternoon at the hospital, where Rachel works. She's on her lunch break, when a woman walks up to her. Rachel instantly recognizes her. It's Vanessa, the woman from the apartment. "Rachel?" Vanessa asks, nervously, holding a coffee cup in her hand. Rachel stiffens. "Yes. Can I help you?" Vanessa looks uncomfortable. "I didn't know how else to find you. I need to tell you something. Marcus told me he was divorced. I thought you should know. I didn't know about you, about Lily. I thought he was single." Rachel stares, stunned. "Divorce?" she whispers. Vanessa nods quickly, tears forming in her eyes. "He said you were out of his life, that you were just co-parenting." "I swear, Rachel, I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I thought we were building a future." For a moment, Rachel just stares, feeling both angry and oddly relieved. It wasn't just her he lied to. It was everyone. Marcus wasn't just cheating. He was living a double life, full of lies. "Thank you for telling me," Rachel says quietly, keeping her voice steady even though her hands are trembling. Vanessa bites her lip, looking guilty. "I'm sorry, I didn't want to hurt you, but I couldn't keep pretending. He's not who I thought he was." When Vanessa leaves, Rachel sits down, feeling strangely calm despite the storm inside her. She now knows the truth, for sure. Marcus has built another life, another relationship, on lies. And now, it's no longer just about betrayal, it's about what comes next, how she will protect herself and her daughter from a man who has lied to them both. Rachel finally confronts Marcus one evening, but this time, she is not alone. Vanessa stands at the doorway, her face pale and tense, holding her phone tightly. Lily is in the living room, clutching her stuffed bunny, eyes wide with confusion. "Marcus," Rachel says firmly, holding a folder in her hands. "We need to talk, all of us." Marcus frowns, looking between them. "What is this? Why is she here?" He points at Vanessa, his voice rising. Rachel doesn't flinch. She places the folder on the table and opens it. "These are receipts from hotels, dinners, and gifts you never gave me. These are photos of you and Vanessa together at that apartment. And these," she holds up her phone, "are screenshots of messages you sent her while you were telling me you were working late." Marcus's face drains of color. "Rachel, you don't understand." "No, Marcus, I understand perfectly." Her voice shakes, but she keeps it steady. "You've been living a double life. Almost a year, isn't it?" Vanessa steps forward, tears already streaming down her face. "He told me he was divorced. Rachel, he said you were just co-parenting and that he was free to move on. I believed him. I thought he loved me." Marcus spins toward her, angry. "Vanessa, don't what? Tell the truth." Vanessa snaps, her voice trembling with pain. "You lied to me too." Lily suddenly cries out, her little voice cracking. Stop it. Please stop fighting. She drops her bunny and covers her ears, tears rolling down her cheeks. Rachel's heart breaks at the sight, but she kneels beside her daughter and holds her tight. It's okay, baby. Mommy's here. You did nothing wrong. Marcus freezes, watching Lily sob in her mother's arms. For a moment, his confident, smooth-talking self disappears, replaced by a man realizing the damage he's done. Rachel stands, still holding Lily's hand, and looks Marcus straight in the eyes. You need to leave. Tonight. Marcus steps back. Rachel, I made mistakes, but I never stopped loving you. You and Lily are my family. I can fix this. No, Rachel cuts him off, her voice sharp now. You don't get to hurt us, and then act like love makes it okay. Love doesn't look like lies and secret apartment. Love doesn't look like gaslighting your wife and dragging your child into your lies. You need to go. Vanessa wipes her face, looking at Marcus with disgust. You told me you wanted to marry me one day. You told me you were done with her. You said Lily was used to 2 houses already. I was living a lie because of you. Marcus looks at both women, realizing he has lost them both. Vanessa eyes him. Save it, she says bitterly. You're not the man I thought you were. I don't want anything to do with you anymore. She turns to Rachel and whispers, I'm so sorry, before walking out the door. Marcus takes a step toward Rachel, but she steps back, still holding Lily close. Don't come any closer. You need to leave. I'll be contacting my lawyer tomorrow about custody and finance. This house belongs to me and Lily now. For a moment, Marcus looks like he might argue, but one glance at Lily, clutching her mom's leg, sobbing quietly, is enough to silence him. He grabs his keys and walks out without another word. The door closes, and the silence feels heavy, but different, free in a way. Rachel kneels and wipes Lily's tears. It's over now, sweetheart. It's just us. Lily sniffles and hugs her tightly. I don't want Daddy to come back. Rachel kisses her forehead. We're going to be okay, babe. It teaches you to love the journey, not just the destination. To sit with the questions, not just crave the answers. To be okay with not knowing, not because it's easy, but because it's real. Real life is not a race. It's a rhythm, and patience is how you learn to dance to that rhythm. It is how you learn to breathe deeper in the pauses, to smile even when things are unclear, to trust that the universe is not ignoring you, but preparing you. You are not being delayed. You are being shaped. You are not being forgotten. You are being fortified. And every moment you choose patience, you are aligning with something far greater than your fear. You are aligning with the wisdom of life itself. So take this as your invitation to slow down, to trust the unseen, to root yourself deeply in the knowing that you are not waiting for your life to begin. Your life is already happening. The waiting itself is sacred. The waiting itself is part of the miracle. And when you finally arrive at that moment you've been hoping for, you will not be the same person who first longed for it. You will be someone deeper, softer, wiser, someone who knows how to trust the unfolding, someone who carries peace, not because life is perfect, but because they are no longer rushing to escape it. This is the wisdom of patience. This is the strength of trusting what you cannot yet see. This is the freedom of walking slowly, intentionally, away. And when you live this way, the unseen becomes a friend, not a threat. The unknown becomes a space of creation, not of fear. And you, my dear soul, become a steady presence in a world that has forgotten how to wait. Patience is not something you add to your life. It is something you return to. It is your natural rhythm. It is the pace of truth. It is the heart of stillness. And it is there always waiting for you to remember. You were never meant to hold everything alone. There is a quiet story that many of us carry, tucked deep within the folds of our thoughts, so subtle we may not even realize we believe it. It is the belief that we must carry the weight of life entirely on our own. That to be strong means to endure silently. That to be spiritual means to transcend suffering without speaking of it. That to be worthy means never asking for help, never burdening others, never showing our crack. This belief grows slowly, seeded in early disappointments, and watered by the small ways we learned that others might not always stay, listen, or understand. Perhaps we once reached for someone in a moment of vulnerability and were met with silence or dismissed. Perhaps we were praised only when we succeeded and scolded when we struggled. Perhaps the world around us demanded composure, not truth, perfection, not presence. And so, over time, we learned to hide our pain in the quiet hours, to hold our grief behind our smiles, to appear whole even when we were slowly unraveling inside. And yet, no matter how strong we try to be, there comes a moment when the burden becomes too heavy to carry alone. A moment when we feel ourselves bending under the weight of unspoken fears, uncried tears, and unheard prayers. A moment when something inside us whispers, "I can't do this by myself anymore." But just as quickly, another voice arises, sharper and colder. "You have to. No one else will." In the teachings of Buddhism, however, we are gently invited to unlearn this story. Rachel looks at him calmly, holding the door, so Lily doesn't overhear. "Marcus, love isn't supposed to feel like betrayal. I gave you 10 years, and you gave me lies. I'm done." Her voice is steady, not angry, just final. He looks at her like he doesn't recognize her anymore. "You've changed," he mutters. "Yes," she replies, "and I'm not going back." Rachel focuses on Lily's emotional well-being. She takes her to therapy, where Lily slowly opens up about her feelings. Some days are hard. Lily cries when she has to visit Marcus, and other days she simply asks, "Why did Daddy lie to us?" Rachel holds her and says, "Because sometimes grown-ups make mistakes. But that doesn't mean we stop loving each other. It just means we choose what's best for ourselves."